Good morning, everybody. Welcome from wherever you are watching us from. It's a lovely Monday morning, the 14th day, the month of July, 2025. Hope you're good. This is the day after we have been told that Buhari had passed on in a London hospital. So today we just go straight into the headlines of the Daily's newspaper this morning, and then we'll bring you up to speed. There are several reactions. Nigerians are reacting to the death of President Buhari. Some persons mourning to the true sense of mourning, and some others are just clearly saying that good riddance to bad rubbish. Remembered how they suffered during the Naira swap campaign, remembered how, military shot at protesters at the toll gates, remembered, several things, more killings, in fact, in the southeast. And of course, the dot in the circle comments made during his interview on Arise TV. Several things have been said about Buhari's regime while he was around 8 years. He was an old man, over 80 years old. He was 82 when he passed on. For those who missed out yesterday, we did a tribute about his life while, he was the first military president between 1983 and 1985, and then as civilian president between 2015 and 2023. Maybe later we might replay that and bring you up to speed if there is anything that remains for us to show you. But really, it was a comprehensive overview of Buhari's life and times from his birth up until his death. It was just explicit. So hopefully, if we're able to finish up on time, we would probably give you that particular documentary once again. Welcome, everybody. This is 734 and it's Cheesy Media. I'm Charles. Remember, this is a hub for breaking news. Everything breaking, whether it is sport, entertainment, politics, just about anything and everything. We're up every single day, 7:30 a.m. all the way to 8:30. Sometimes we can even surpass our times. Remember, it could be something much more that would make us surpass that 8:30 mark. And there, if there's anything that's breaking within the day, we could come on as well. So it's more like your moving role for breaking news. And we also have the opportunity to react to some of the headlines that we may have been putting up to you. So the numbers are showing on your screen, so you can grab it, send us a message, and send us a WhatsApp message, or even calling to react to some of the stories that are breaking for you this lovely Monday morning. So we're kicking off on the Nation newspaper this morning, and right above the masts this morning, Awojale of Ijebuland, Oba Adetona joins ancestors. Awojale of Ijebuland, Oba Adetona joins ancestors. You can find a little bit of the detail there this morning. Buhari, Nigeria mourns. All right, I like the way they did the suspense right there. Buhari, Nigeria mourns. Let's see some other headlines that are there. President duty, honor, and a deep commitment to the unity and progress of our nation defined his life. Ex-president passes on in London at 82. His last days, Buhari likely today. Burial likely today, apparently, yes, but burial is likely today. Flags fly at half mast for 7 days. Tinubu, we lost a patriot, a statesman. AU, ECOWAS, US, China mourn. Buhari's life, politics, legacies, his life in photos, his battles with ill health. Obasanjo, Jonathan IBB paid tributes from military ruler to democratic president. Stories on page 1 to 6, 23, 31, and back page. So find out all of the details on the Nation newspaper this morning. And over now, we're moving to the Punch newspaper. Maybe this day is screaming that it wants to come on, but let's see if the Punch can overtake that. All right, let's see on the Punch newspaper this morning. 9 states delay teachers 70,000 naira minimum wage. 9 states delay teachers 70,000 naira minimum wage. Are we still discussing minimum wage? Are we still talking about minimum wage in Nigeria? Like 70,000 naira minimum, we're still deliberating it. This is devastating. 70,000 naira. I mean, it's crazy. We're screaming that 70,000 naira is not even enough, and it is not something that anyone can live by in a month. And then we still have governors, we still have, local government chairman withholding people's monies. This is really bad, I must say. To some other headlines, 2027, APC plots major NWC shakeup ahead of December convention. APC plots major NWC shakeup ahead of December convention. I mean, it's going to be drama, drama, drama as we build up to the 2027 general election. And now here we are with Tinubu ex-leaders gather for Buhari's burial in Daura today. Ex-president dies in London hospital at 82. Ex-president dies in London hospital at 82. Shatima arrives with cops. National flags fly half-mast as Obasanjo governors lead tributes. A generous legacy, Buhari's march through history. That's an interesting headlines you can find on the Punch newspaper. Nigeria's U.S. exports plummet by $527 million amidst rising trade tensions. With the rider 2 months after Trump 10% tariff move, Nigeria exports suffer sharp decline. Indeed, it will. It will. That was predicted by so many economic policy analysts. And truth be told, 2 months down, nobody wants to pay that 10%. Is pretty much high for them. Tributes as Al-Wujale of Ijebuland passes at 91. Tinubu, Abiodun, others mourn the life and legacy of a fearless monarch. Well, we understand that Buhari may have stolen the show with his death, but the Awujale of Ijebuland apparently passed on also yesterday, and it's needed to be said. But it looks like um, Buhari's death also, overshadowed, his own passing. But we're mourning these two interesting, huge personalities who had paid the huge price and who have also given their life to the service of humanity. All right, let's see what we have with the Tribune newspaper. If it can be shown to you, it's still kicking off with the Awojala of Ijebuland. Oba Adetona joins his ancestors, dies at 91, ascended throne 1960. He was beacon of unity, cultural preservation. Governor Abiodun speaks. All right, that's a good one. Let's see other headlines that we have. This is screaming headlines. Buhari is stealing the show once again out of the Tribune newspaper. There's virtually no paper that didn't carry the story of the passing of Buhari because, of course, that happened yesterday and you'd expect that it will come off today. Buhari, end of an era, dies in London clinic at 82. Tinubu, Obasanjo, IBB, Jonathan, Atiku, Obi, others pay tributes. Shatima, Wajabia Mila to accompany corps back home, flags to fly at half-mast for 7 days. Emergency FEC holds Tuesday. Tight security at his Kaduna home. That's an interesting headlines you may want to look at. Just by the side of that same Tribune newspaper, we have the NDLEA recovers cocaine from microwaves and lipsticks. Pretty interesting ways that people are looking to steal the show. What I mean by stealing the show is they are looking for creative ways of concealing cocaine through the airport. And I really don't know if they don't know that there's an improved system before you to be able to go through the any airport in Nigeria right now with hard drugs. You must have somebody within that environment. If you don't have somebody within that environment, then that's how you now start looking for a creative way of concealing it because their system helps them to discover, to find out specifically, to detect, anything that's related to drugs. So if you don't if you don't have somebody within that environment that would help your bag not to be checked, that is how these people succeed. I mean, we've seen people over the years succeed by transporting drugs through the airport. Part of the reasons why the former police boss Kerry was held, and now the people were saying that because he had intel, because he was in control of airports, especially the Enugu airport, he was able to move drugs and allow drugs in just because. Anyways, to some other headlines, Nigeria records $5.96 billion monthly FX inflows from May amid reforms, investor confidence. Still on the Tribune newspaper this morning. Anyoko, other eminent citizens set for three-day constitutional conference to present resolutions, draft bill on a new constitution to presidency and National Assembly. NMPCL lacks power to sell refineries, says Falana. Demands EFCC probe on of funds meant for rehabilitation. Well, I think I'd actually buy this particular idea. I mean, there's been crazy discoveries by the EFCC about the monies used for rehabilitation, and it's now clear that those monies were not particularly used for those rehabilitations. This monies must have found their way to the pockets of these individuals, and there's this particular report is clearly saying that this probe must be done and be dusted, and then if there is anyone who is caught in the winds of all of these, and make sure that they are brought to book. So it is one to try. Anyways, for this particular headlines, Ayoku, other eminent citizens set for three-day constitutional conference. I don't know how many times we would do a constitutional conference. We have been doing constitutional conference for as long as possible. We did a confab, remember, that we spent billions for. People came from all walks of life, and there are resolutions to that particular confab. Up until this moment, since 2014, that confab happened. Up until this is now more than 10 years since that confab happened. No one individual, no government has deemed it fit to implement or even take a part of that particular confab result and implement it. And that's actually some resolutions that most Nigerians are actually looking out for. Resolutions that would enable you as an individual be excited to be part of this nation. So it's so bad and it's so not nice. And how are we sure that this particular conference that they're looking to do would even see the light of day? Would even be implemented? Daniel Ku and his people would pay a huge they will be paid a whole lot of money. How are we sure that they are going the resolutions made would be you know will be taken care of, will be implemented? Anyways, we're moving over now to the Vanguard newspaper. On the Vanguard this morning, NGE urges government media to prioritize national security, responsible reporting. All right, pension managers fall in enlisting new contributors, resorts to poaching. Awujale of Ijebuland Oba Adetona dies at 91. Deluge of tributes as Buhari dies at 82. All right, deluge of tributes as Buhari dies at 82. How he traveled to London, took ill, died. Tinubu orders Shatima to bring home Buhari's body from UK, declares 7 days mourning, summons emergency FEC meeting tomorrow. Obasanjo, IBB, Jonathan, Atiku, Osibajo, Akpabio, Obi, governors, others pay tribute. All right, this interesting tribute payment is what exactly is going on right now. Obi, Labour Party kicks as Abure's faction visits Wike. Anyways, those pictures were, trending yesterday, and it really didn't go down well with a lot of persons who says that it's does look like this Abure is playing, is playing a fast one, and maybe you never could tell. This current administration may be using him in order to scuttle the opposition, which most people have consistently said that it's bad for our democracy. All right, we're moving now over to the Guardian newspaper this morning. On the Guardian this morning, 2027 presidency may use courts to scuttle ADC, Mark warns. 2027 presidency may use courts to scuttle ADC, Mark warns. Well, it's a genuine fear. Contractors to shut down FCT roads in protest against indebtedness. LP slams Abure over secret meeting with Wike, reaffirms suspension. LP slams Abure over secret meeting with Wike, reaffirms suspension. Well, I keep thinking to myself, why would you visit a wiki in this situation? If you really are smart enough to play politics, why would you visit a wiki and then want to show the media that you visited wiki? I really don't get it. Now everybody has an eye on you, that you have been one of those that have been courted by the APC to scuttle the Labour Party, and then Labour Party has one of the major contenders, which is Peter Obi. So any move you make right now that doesn't seem to augur well with the Labour Party, to look like you know you are playing to the gallery. So I wonder why he would take that picture and post it. I wonder why they would do that. Like, why would you want to do that? And so many persons are now saying that all the while it is now very clear that the presidency is using Abure to scuttle the chances of Peter Obi to emerge presidential candidate on the Labour Party. And you never can tell. Anything and everything is possible. I'm sure that one of the reasons why he would give is because, well, Peter Obi aligned with the ADC, so why wouldn't he want to align with the opposition? It's all games and politics. Tributes, reflections on legacy as Buhari bows out at 82. The man, his legacy, policies, health, and controversies. All you can find on the Guardian newspaper. Morning as Awujale Oba Adetona passes at 91. All right. Let's see what we have still on the Guardian newspaper this morning. Opposition laments as APC sweeps Lagos local government polls. Tinubu Atiku distracting youths from nation building. Tinubu Atiku distracting youth from nation building. You can find out what that means and why it is important. Anglican bishop decries hardship, says it's adversely affecting churches. Anglican bishop decries hardship, says it's adversely affecting churches. Why not? Wouldn't it affect churches? Everyone is screaming about this latest development as it relates to, hardship in Nigeria, and the church is not in any way um, finding it funny. I'm sure that the offerings and the tithes have reduced, and so because of that, they just have to do the needful to scream their voices out. Over now to the Day State newspaper. A nation mourns the death of a man who gave his all to Nigeria. A nation mourns the death of a man who gave his all to Nigeria. Obasanjo, Atiku, Mark, Okpabio, Abbas, Barrow, Bio, Tommy, Obi, Fashola, Adebayo, Tiger, Bakari, Oni, CDS, Ngige, governors, senators, Chinese embassy, ACE, APC, PDP, others more. See tributes on the back page by Tinubu, Babangida, and Jonathan. All right. It is still trending on the front pages of the newspapers this morning. And of course, it has this very, very huge headline right in front of the Day State newspaper. Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, 1942 to 2025, a life of service. Find out the details on this state newspaper. All right. Ogun governor announces passing of Awujale of Ijebuland, Oba Sikiru at Daytona. All right. That actually happened yesterday. So we're mourning two persons today, and it's really, really sad, I must say. All right, so we're done with the visuals for dailies this morning. I'm sure that there's one underlying topic, which is Buhari, and most Nigerians have been speaking regarding, their experience while he ruled. I mean, so many persons would say that he was one of the best. Some others would say, well, he played his role, and whether his role is good enough, whether it is bad, it's left to be seen. I mean, I've never really seen anyone who says that someone is good, all true and true while they were alive. I mean, he was a leader who ruled the country the best way that he could. Well, let's first of all listen to the Yoruba agitator. You remember him? Yeah, Yoruba agitator was the one who released a video and stating his experience as someone who was very, very, very averse to his government. At some point, he fought with the government, and he says that he alleged that Buhari wanted to kill him. But let's listen to him.
I thank God for my life today. My people, Buhari don't die. See life. See life. The Buhari criminal man that is sent DSS and military to come and kill me middle in the night in July 1st, 2021. He died today. See life. My people, we're supposed to learn about this. That criminal man, Buhari, Muhammadu Buhari, he don't die. See, I'm alive today. I thank God. God, thank you for my life today. Criminal Fulani man that is with some Yoruba, with some stupid Yoruba people that gang up and come to my house middle in the night. They try to take my life, but God said no. If God say yes, nobody can say no. God said no. See life. You don't die today. Thank God. God, I thank you.
Okay, that was Sunday Iboho. We all understand, we all know the role that he played while Buhari was in power. Buhari saw him as somebody like the one and only Nnamdi Kanu, who is still in custody. So he is very angry, still angry with him, even while in death, calling him criminal and saying all sorts of things. Anyways, there's nobody that will sit back as the president of a nation and watch you try to scuttle his administration. Buhari did what he did because he needed to quiet certain persons, and we understand how difficult it was for Sunday Igboho. He had to run away from his house. DSS raided his home. He ran away to another country. I think it was Benin Republic. I think at some point, everything died down. But Buhari had this zero tolerance for agitation, so he didn't like it. That part of the reasons why Nnamdi Kanu was also arrested, who's also doing his own thing from Igbo land. And what were these guys even saying? They were just saying, look, guys, we don't like the way and manner that this country is treating the Southerners. Under Buhari, apparently, there was this notion that he was nepotistic. All his appointments, all his administrations, most of all of his appointments and most of his infrastructural development went to the north. And because of that, this agitation came out from both the southeast and the southwest. And I felt that instead of correcting these agitations, he went around trying to kill or trying to, arrest these people. So the Sunday Igboho guy is still very angry about what had happened, and I hope that he finds it in his heart now that he's dead, to forgive him, and then so that life can basically move on. All right, let's see if we can grab other headlines for you in terms of visuals. Yesterday, Chelsea played PSG, in the Club World Cup final, and it was fantastic. The game was just too much. So many persons predicted that PSG was going to win that game, but it happened that Chelsea finally, won with a wonderful margin of 3-0. I'm sure if you never knew, you would be shocked that if you are someone who is a football pundit, you will really never be able to predict that Chelsea will be able to beat PSG. In fact, the odds were even against Chelsea with all what has happened in the last few days. PSG came in firing from all cylinders, beating Real Madrid, beating everybody basically, getting to the finals, and then many persons said Chelsea will be a walkover. but it happened that Chelsea wasn't at the end of the day a walkover. So let's catch up with the fans who, did some celebration and some singing for their teammates. And I think there was a name that kept recurring in this particular visuals. Watch. Who has the final say? Cole Palmer has the final say. I mean, so many persons were waiting for Chelsea to lose that game, especially Arsenal fans, Manchester United fans. No, but it would have been ironical given that PSG coming into this particular final had actually beaten most English teams. Chelsea was the only team to have beaten, to have conquered entire England. I mean, they beat mercilessly other English teams and even some Spanish teams as well. So beating Chelsea would have completed the circle. So many Arsenal fans and Man U fans were waiting to do some partying against Chelsea team that looked really lackluster in this particular tournament. But at the end of the day, it seems they came with all of their magnetic style to win that trophy. But it was quite shocking seeing PSG on the back foot, knowing who they are, how attacking and how strong they are. But they came outspoken in the second half, but they couldn't get any goal. But again, that's football for you. You try and try. Maybe it's not a good day in the office. Okay, that was Donald Trump there handing over the trophy to Chelsea, and it was really, really interesting. I don't know if you saw the drama that happened there. FIFA President Infantino asked Trump to walk off the stage, and he refused. I mean, he he wanted to fit in there. He almost wanted to even jump with the Chelsea team as if he's a coach of the team. Donald Trump with his drama, he's always the dramatic king, and so it's quite interesting. Anyways, let's go to still the tribute for the one and only President Buhari who died. We have Obasanjo, speaking about the death of Buhari. Let's listen in.
About Muhammadu, that he tried his best. My prayer is that God will forgive him of his inadequacies and accept him into his kingdom. It's a loss to the nation, because at a time like this, we need the totality of the experience and what I may call statesmanship of all those who have had the opportunity to run the affairs of this country in the past, to get us out of the situation we are in. He will be sorely missed, and may his soul rest in perfect peace.
Obasanjo giving his own tribute to the demise of the one and only general. I'm talking about General Muhammadu Buhari. All right. Let's see if you missed out on what we did yesterday. Let me tease you once again. That is also still trending on this platform. That is on the YouTube platform. You can grab some of these things that we have done before. So many persons prevailing on Atiku to drop his ambition only because, power must at least be in the South for 8 years, and by 2027 it will just be 4 years. So many persons are prevailing on Atiku to do the needful by not contesting. We know that it's not written anywhere, it's not signed anywhere that South Obama was the first time, and it shocked everybody that he was able to gather that. But be that as it may, let's count it the way that INEC did count.
The South, Buhari was incompetent. Nigerians suffer under him, yet they allowed him to rule. Tinubu is obviously incompetent. He said he came to come, and we want to see change. Give several times that they stole the election, that you were so sure Peter Obi was the winner. So if you knew he won, saying that he doesn't stand the chance, and you're talking about, you have seen him get votes from the north, is because they have to give somebody a chance from the southeast. What is our problem with the Igbo Nigeria, one Nigeria? Now they changed the national anthem and brought the old one to talk about we being together. But us northerners must team up behind Obi. We have northerners. Why did Wike destroy PDP?
All right. A lot of persons have been calling for Atiku to support Peter Obi, just like Atiku did in 2014, 2015, supporting Tinubu, because he was beating at the primaries of the coalition that brought about APC to power. But it's not really clear. The last headline we saw with Atiku is stating clearly that Atiku is calling for an open primary, that anybody can get the ticket. And this was the same thing that happened under the PDP, where his ambition was what scuttled, the PDP. Up until this moment, if that particular ticket had been zoned to the South, especially for the PDP, I'm not sure PDP would be in this deep crisis. And part of the reasons why Wike have consistently done what he did, just playing the spoiler card for the PDP, is because of his ambition. You can't allow a Northwesterner finish 8 years and then allow a Northeasterner to follow suit and do another 8 years. As in, it doesn't add up for a country that is multi-ethnic, multi-religious, and it doesn't make any sense that one zone would be making the round. So many persons are saying that Atiku might most likely go ahead and buy the ticket, getting people to vote for him at the primaries, and then of course that if it happens that way, just be rest assured that he's not going to get any headway in the South, just like he did in 2023. In 2023, it was only the North that actually voted him. The South really didn't vote him. Hardly any state that he came second. So that is because of the fact that people read the room, and I'm shocked that he himself, as a political heavyweight, is not reading the room, and that is just the problem with what is going on right now. Anyways, let's check with the return of the president back home. Remember, he returned yesterday, early morning yesterday, after his meetings at St. Lucia, where he was giving an honor, and then his meeting at the BRICS. Let's just remind you that the president has returned, and so he has his table filled up because he's going to be in Naira today for the burial of former president. I'm sure he has an executive meeting tomorrow, and so that the flag is flown as half-mast. So there's a whole lot happening at the same time that he will be really have his hands filled up. So let's watch this particular clip. We'll be back afterwards.
You're welcome. Hey, my God. Welcome back. Excellent. Thank you,
This is your hub for breaking news. So we're live every single day from 7:30 all the way to 8:30. Sometimes we actually overshoot our time. Sometimes we actually stay within the range. And remember also, we are breaking the news every single day. What I mean, every single day. Sometimes we can even come up on air, just like we did yesterday evening when the news broke about President Buhari's demise. So we we come on any time of the day that we know that something is breaking and we need to give you fresh information about what's going on, especially in Nigeria, in Africa, and around the world. So if it's 12 midnight that is breaking, we'll bring that to you. If it is 1 p.m., if it is 8 a.m., however, whatever time, remember, we would come on air to bring you all details. I want to say a very big thank you to all of you for being part of the broadcast. I appreciate you. I'll see you on the next one tomorrow, 7:30. But of course, if anything breaks, remember you can get it here. Thank you all. I appreciate. See you